extremely soft vertical left. Sonos. Go back to here. All right, and Instagram. Okay, seems like we are finally live. Let's roll with this. Hello everybody, I just finished running a half marathon and my body is completely exhausted, and I figured it might be a good time for me to sit down and do some writing and see how my mood's different. Yesterday, my mood wasn't great, I didn't sleep well. Today, feeling a lot better, so let's see what emerges as I get some writing in today. Let's begin by signing this mood a little bit. Hello to Saranasa. It's nice to see you. Thank you for joining me for this writing session. Let's light a candle here first. And get some Palo Alto burn in. Not enough before I burn my finger. Yes, come on. Make this room smell nice. Okay. What do we have here? Almost. Nope. Come on. Come on, little one. You can do it. There we go. And we got some burning. And with that, let's get the journaling. I got some new pens, so I don't have to use this light blue ink anymore, which I wasn't enjoying whatsoever. And what's the date today? March 23rd. Oh yes, there you go. Love this. 2025. Put that there. Okay. Get that out of the way. Hello to Valerie May. Pleasure to see you. Thank you for joining. Hello, Natasha Daniel. Nice to see you. It's always a pleasure. Hello, Simon. What am I writing about? So, I just finished running a half marathon, and I'm trying to connect with how my body is feeling today as opposed to yesterday. Yesterday, I woke up at 4 a.m. and I felt very slow and confused. And today, I had a good night's sleep. I ran almost 22K, and just noticing how my body is feeling and where's my mind now as a result. And I'm a big advocate that oh, you like the planted wood and the shell, you have both. Oh, very nice. I'm glad you have something similar. And so I'm a big advocate about how the state of the body directly reflects the state of the mind. And I can see now that I've exercised and slept well, that I feel great. And I just wanted to write more and explore that and really remember how I felt yesterday so that I could really solidify this idea more. When I do things that damage my sleep and my health, I'm going to feel horrible about it the next day. I'm not going to be able to connect with people. I'm not going to be able to connect with myself. But today I definitely feel a lot different, and so I really want to pay attention to that and embody that as much as I can. Now, where was I? Hello to Peter A.O. Thank you for joining. Hazalotus, hello to you. Thank you for joining today's live stream. Hello to you as well. Thank you for sending a message. This is the first time I've gone to catch. Yeah, that's right. I didn't actually see you in any of the live streams before, Hazalotus, and I'm happy to see you here. If you're into journaling, then I suggest maybe getting your journal out today and doing some writing as well. I'm trying to create a space where people who aren't developing the habit of writing or haven't developed it yet, can come here, and I could be a kind of accountability buddy for them so that you can get used to writing and making that a part of your life. So, if not, if you just want to sit and chat and watch and appreciate the atmosphere, then I'm down for that as well. I'm happy that you're here. Hello to Shankar Ankita. Pleasure to see you here. Welcome. Yeah, of course. I appreciate you here. Thank you, as Lotus. Oh, Simon's Let's Play. Hello on YouTube. I haven't seen you here for a while. Hello, it's you again. Yes, it is you again. I remember you. I'm on my way to do the writing, but I set my time afternoon after my workshop, but I could only keep up in 3 to 4 days and I haven't found any motivations again. I'm sorry that you haven't been able to find the motivation. Do I have any tips to be able to do it routinely? So this right here, this live streaming right here is basically how I keep myself doing it routinely. I set it every morning for 8:30 a.m. I know that this is the time that I'm going to be doing this, except for today. Today's a special day. I don't usually write on Sundays, but today's a bit of an experiment because I just ran a half marathon and I want to see how my body and my mind are right now. But the tip is just to set a specific time. If I know that at every single day at this time I'm going to do it, then I just show up. And even if I don't write anything that day, I know maybe tomorrow I'll be able to do it. I don't think habits are set instantly. I think habits are set over time by doing things over and over again. And so just say, figure out a time that you think that you can commit to it, and that might be the easiest one. For me, I also have really set up a good environment here for me. I can't turn the camera around and show you, but I love stepping into this room. And there's like this little setup that I have here with this candle and with the Palo Alto, and I got my little speaker going here, and I've got my books beside me. It really sets a nice environment that I love stepping into. This room, what you can't see here is that this room is actually soundproof-ish, not fully soundproof, but I got soundproofing. You can see right there, that little black thing, that's like soundproofing foam. And I have it along the wall there and there around and on the ceiling as well. And as soon as I step into this room, it just feels different. The rest of the house is kind of open and flowy, and you could hear the house breathing. But here, as soon as I step in, it kind of just seals you into this own little tank, and I just love the feeling of it. I could definitely see myself getting lost in here for very many hours. And so I set up a nice environment. I set up a nice station for me to have this, and I pretty much don't use this station for anything else. I do some work and some editing here, and I do some writing here, and that's about it. So if you could find a place of your home that you dedicate to your writing and a time, those two will get you on the right path to developing your writing habit. I wish you the best of luck there. And now back to it. Okay, so the setting place is important. I forget that part. That's definitely going to help. Thanks, Simon. Of course. You're welcome, Simon. Thank you, Simon, for asking the question. Simon. I don't talk to a lot of Simons, and so it's rather rare and strange for me. I'm glad you found that funny, Hazel Lotus. Oh, hello to Sonida Ayako, Fixelrod, and Marimoshi, Milk. My God, there's so many people I haven't said hello to. So, hello to all of you that have joined. Oh my gosh, yes. Oh, yes. Oh, wow. That's a good one. Yes. Oh, huh. Yeah. Yep. Yep. Oh God, that's huge. Yep. Fuck. Ouch. 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 Let's sit with that for a bit. Hello to May May. Nice to see you. Hello to Topher GFX as well. Thank you for joining today. Come on. Yeah. Give it to me. Give it to me. There you go. Love it. Hello to Mystifying Miracles. Pleasure to see you here. I hope your miracles are very mystifying. What's a non-mystifying miracle? Aren't all miracles in some way mystifying? Or are there some miracles that are just like, yeah, that's all right? Then would they still be called miracles? Not sure. Hello to Eddie Lane and to Nabila Karim and to Sean Reese. Welcome all of you to the live stream. Eddie Lane, hello. Hello to you. I'm happy that you're here. I'm doing some journaling today after running a half marathon and checking in on how my body's feeling and noticing the endorphins starting to fade and the pain starting to slowly arise in my butt and feet and back, and just watching that whole thing. And so if you're down to journal, then I'd be happy for you to grab one of your own and to get to writing as well. I'm trying to encourage everyone to get into the writing habit. This is how I'd rather spend my free time. Definitely noticed I was spending way too much time on Instagram, and so I figured it'd be better if I sit down and write and understand myself better, rather than understand other people who I don't know. Oh, there you go. Oh, yeah. I used to journal too, but it was on my iPad. Do you prefer journaling on paper? 100%. Journaling on paper is definitely the way to go for me. I also have an iPad and I got the pen and I tried writing with the pen. That just didn't feel right. I tried typing. I just don't like the feeling of typing, but really being able to write pen on paper, there's something about it that just feels so nice. I love the feeling of scribbling. I love being able to go left to right. I find that when I'm typing, I can't really connect with myself as well and understand myself as well. At least it doesn't feel as intimate. It doesn't feel special. And I'm not sure if that's just because I'm older and there's something really romantic about writing on paper. I did this a lot when I was in university 20 years ago, and so maybe this is me trying to reclaim my youth and write again before the days of technology. No, there were still computers back in those days. So yeah, I love this, and I also know that it's not really that useful because I got like 3 books that I've already filled out, and I can't really access any of those ideas. I would have to like flip through them and find them. It's so much better if I'd be able to type them and search them and find some kind of patterns and whatnot. But I don't know, I'm just doing this for the pure selfish masturbatory thing of like, yeah, this just feels nice, that's it. So highly recommend it, 10 out of 10. We'll do again and every single day. Oh, I see. It is romantic indeed. I find that when I write in paper, my hand isn't fast enough for my brain. Exactly. I definitely have ideas coming so quickly, and I know where I want to go with the sentence, and my pen is trying to catch up, and I'm filling out all the words that I already know what they are, and I want to get to the bigger idea, and I definitely can't write as quickly as I type, and I know that's definitely a limitation to it as well. But yeah, I definitely think that there's something different that you unlock if you wind up writing via pen and paper instead. I don't necessarily know what it is, but I'm going to keep on exploring until I figure it out. Thank you for engaging and for asking. I appreciate it. Ah, whoever sent that heart. I see 2 hearts. Thank you for both of them. Hello to Weasley and MBW223, and it's Carol, it's Caro Charlier. Welcome all of you to the live stream. Pleasure to see you. Hello to Miriam H. and to D. Decker. The sound of writing is so peaceful. Thank you. So I have a mic here attached to my shirt, and I also want to have this little mic here. So if anybody likes that ASMR kind of quality to it, then I'm doing this for them, and I'm glad that you appreciate it, D. Decker. Thank you. So Miriam H. has asked, what am I writing about? So I'm writing about a few things, mostly just writing in with checking in how my body's feeling. I just ran a half marathon. and noticing how yummy my body felt at the start, and now how some of those endorphins are fading, and I'm starting to feel the pain and soreness in my body, and how much I definitely want to lay down again. And I was also thinking about, well, what I was writing about, the big one that hit me was, I remember hearing this story about a businessman meeting a fisherman. And the businessman, the fisherman says that, he fishes every morning for his family, just for a few hours. And he goes home, he feeds them fish, and then he spends the rest of the day with his family. And the businessman was like, well, why don't you instead fish a little bit harder, get some extra money, then hire some extra fishermen, and then when they make some extra money, then you can make a fishing business. And then when that makes some extra money, then you could build a fishing franchise. And when that makes some extra money, then you could have enough money so that you'll never need to fish again. And then in your free time, you could spend all your time fishing. And the kind of moral of the story there is like you're doing all these extra steps so that you could just get back to doing what you're naturally doing anyways. And so the thought for me is I have some ideas in me that I want to be able to develop into a business, a kind of self-sustaining business. But I know that it's going to come at the cost of a lot of work, a lot of time, a lot of hours. And that will come at the expense of the things that I do to take care of my health. Will I still be able to walk my dog slowly in the morning and run as much as I do and go to the gym as often as I do and to cook healthy food and to be able to connect with my partner and my friends? Probably I'll have to sacrifice some of those things in order to make this business grow, so that once it does grow to a specific point, then I could step back and get back to doing the things that I do. And I also kind of think there are a lot of business owners that don't really take care of their bodies. Like, I'm very obsessed with my health. Like, I run every single day. I ran a half marathon today. I try to run a half marathon every weekend. I run 6 kilometers a day on top of that. I go to the gym like usually 5 times a week, except these past couple of weeks it's been raining, so I haven't been able to go as much. I've only gone 3 times a week. But I still am in really, really good health. And a lot of the business owner content that I see are from people that really haven't taken care of their health. Great, they've been able to develop their financial security a lot more, but at what cost? At the cost of earlier heart attacks. Every single business owner that I know has jeopardized their health and their family for the sake of financial growth. And so my question is, what's the right path to go? Raphael DeFurry, I think we spoke before. You have a very familiar name. I don't know. Anyhow, so the point is, what do you sacrifice? Do you go the business route and sacrifice your health so that when your business is solidified and you spend your older years trying to reclaim the health, they'll be almost impossible to regain, right? It's really difficult to get into great shape in your later 40s. It's a lot better for you to get into shape when you're younger and to maintain that throughout your life. But then if you do that, then how long does it take for you to develop your financial goals and your financial plans? And for me, the big realization was, why am I so obsessed with my health? And I think it's because, and this was a challenging one for me, because I saw what health does to your relationships. When your health fades, then your relationship really suffers. And I experienced that first fucking hand very dramatically. And so I think post-divorce, I've been ultra obsessed with health and well-being. And so is that just a trauma response? And like, hey, not having huge financial wealth. I grew up poor, so it doesn't really matter to me that much, right? But I never grew up unhealthy. Like my family is mostly all athletes. Like my brother was athletic. My nephew almost went to the NBA. My niece was like almost a UFC fighter. We're all fucking crazy athletes. And so I think I just value my health and well-being so much more than developing a business. And so there is a little bit of that processing going on in me. So thank you, Miriam, for asking. So Raphael, hi, yes, we did briefly speak. I was coming down to Lisboa, but I ended up not working out. Yeah, don't you live up north in Coimbra, I think it was? Yeah, I think so. And I was supposed to head up to Coimbra and something along those lines. I'm not sure. Anyhow, so that's what I'm writing about today. And thank you for letting me share this really long topic that I'm talking about. And I'm glad that you're finding it interesting, Raphael. And now, back to writing. My smelly thing isn't smelly anymore, so I got to make it re-smelly again. Yes. If I developed a business, would I have enough time to write as much as I write? To read as much as I read? I don't know. Braga, that's where it was. Braga, not Coimbra. Close though, right? I think Braga is closer to Coimbra than it is to Lisbon, I'm pretty sure. My geography is not great. All right, back to it. Going into a place with bad signal, and I think that's the rest of your message. Well, it was nice seeing you while you were here, Raphael. Thanks for joining. You get it. Thank you for understanding. Thank you for understanding, Miriam. And thank you for listening and for engaging and asking. So the video you say is breaking up, Raphael, and you have to catch the next stream. All right, tomorrow 8:30 a.m. is when I'm going to be writing again. Hope to see you there. Hello to Missafikumam. My God, Siafikumam. Hello to you, and I apologize for destroying your name. Miriam says, post-COVID, my health suffered a lot. Mind you, I have a kid and taking care of her was challenging, so now I'm focusing on it. Yeah, no, I get it. I definitely know a lot of parents who have not been able to take care of their health as a result. Children demand relentless, undivided attention. I have a friend who I run with, and he has a newborn, and it's just having a baby is all-consuming. It's like I have a dog. I could still watch TV and pet my dog, or I could let my dog run around in the park and it's fine. You can't do that with a child. You have to pay relentless attention to a child, and you only have so much attention that you can give. You can't pay attention to a child and go to the gym at the same time. Can you? Are you going to be doing deadlifts with a baby strapped to your back? How do you do that? And you can't. And so I also know that my girlfriend and I are talking about having kids, and a main concern is how the fuck am I going to have time to take care of myself? Am I going to have to destroy my own well-being for somebody else? Because I don't really know any parents. I just haven't seen any examples in my life. Not that they don't exist. I just haven't seen any parents who have been able to take care of themselves, who haven't destroyed themselves in the process. Except for this friend of mine who's still running, just not as much as he used to, he admits. Anyhow, so thank you for sharing, Miriam. I can understand the challenge of taking care of a child. Miriam says, oh yeah, my philosophy is that my child should follow me in some of the things I do because it's the only way for them to learn life, how to deal with people and challenges. Yeah, amen. That's a great idea. Bring your child with you and let them see things and do things with you. One of the things I've been thinking is that when I do have children, one of these days, I got to get on it soon, I'm already 42, I'll go running with them. The goal is, can I run a marathon with my kids? That's a beautiful goal. I love to be able to do that. Yes, children mimic your behavior. That's what they do. They are mimics. They are sponges. And you just got to keep on showing them. None of this do as I say, not as I do business that a lot of parents wind up doing. They don't set the examples. They just tell kids with their fingers, yeah, this is how you should be living your life. Just obey. No, you got to set the example. You got to be the change that you want to see. Hello, my love.
You're talking some.
I'm talking to like how many people? 3, 4 people here in the chat room.
Are you living live thing?
Yeah, I'm in the live stream.
Okay.
Okay, you done your call?
Yeah.
Okay, good. I'm almost done writing here. Anyhow, again, Miriam, thank you for your insight. I'm glad that you are bringing your child along with you as much as you can. That's a very healthy thing to do. Having them in a place where they are dedicated to playing and only playing is not helpful. Yeah, I agree. When I see kids that are just like, hey, let's just play with toys the whole time and put them in situations in which they could play with toys and just focus on them playing with toys, to me it's kind of maddening. Like I really appreciated how in Korea, I'd see parents out with their kids late at night and the kids would be sleeping with them, but the kids would be out, rather than just like, oh, we got to make sure that the child's home at this time. So I don't know. I'm starting to get a little bit fuzzy here. My thoughts about parenting aren't that well developed, so I'm not a great beacon there. D. Decker asks, what's your advice on mental health like depression or getting out of a rut in life? Thank you for all that you've been doing. It's awesome to see how you've grown throughout the years. D. Decker, thank you for that question. I have a lot of thoughts about mental health and depression and getting out of a rut in life. And the biggest thing for me, I'm going to say, is that the mind and the body are one thing. They are not separate at all. That's an old mentality that we have, but all neuroscience now is pointing to them being deeply, deeply related. And so that means that if you are mentally depressed, it probably means that your body's physically depressed as well. And so there are a lot of therapists that I know now, or that I've read about, I don't know these therapists personally, that when a child is brought into the doctor's office and they say they have depression, and the doctor pulls out a prescription pad and he gives them the prescription which says 40 minutes of rigorous exercise 5 days a week. And if you can do that rigorous exercise, and I don't mean gentle yoga, like I'm gonna stretch a little bit and just make sure you feel it. No, I mean rigorous, heart-pumping, fucking sweating, panting, rigorous exercise. If you could do that regularly, your depression is probably going to change. Maybe not be fully cured, but it's definitely going to change, because an unhappy mind is a result of an unhappy body. So the question is, are you sleeping well? Are you eating well? And are you exercising rigorously? For me, I found that the lowest parts of my life were second year university, when I dedicated myself entirely to my studies. I'm like, I want to be a professor, and so I'm just going to read all the fucking books. And I stopped playing basketball, and I stopped going out, and I just sat on my couch and read 300 pages a day. I was great at school, but I almost killed myself because I just got so fucking dark and depressed. Movement is the best medicine. There is no prescription medicine anywhere close to physical movement. And I know that for me as well, that I was in a super duper dark time around September 2023, even scarier than what happened in university. And what was I doing at the time? I was sitting and meditating for fucking hours. Cross my legs, sit and meditate about the mysteries of the universe when my body was screaming for me to move. And I got dangerously, scarily dark at that time. And then I decided to start running every day. And from October 13th to now, October 13th of 2023 to whatever the fuck day it is today, March 23rd, 2025, I haven't missed a single day of running. And my mental health is so much clearer. Truly, there is no better medicine for your mental health than exercise. 100%. Talk therapy isn't going to solve it. And I've done a lot. Spent thousands and thousands on many different modalities of talk therapy with many different psychologists. Nothing is as good as taking care of your health. Which is why I was talking a little bit before about, do you sacrifice your health for the sake of growing your business? And for me, I did that a couple of times and it wasn't well for me at all. So that's the main thing. Find some kind of exercise in which you're breathing, in which you're sweating really hard, and see how your mood changes. I started writing today because today's writing session was an experiment. Yesterday I woke up at 4 a.m. I didn't sleep well, and then I journaled just to see how I was doing. And my mind was dark. Somebody asked me about Fudgy, and instead of me being joyous and talking about it, I talked about how I was worried that he's gonna die. He's 5. He's got another fucking 10 years of life in him. And I was so dark at the time because my body was really unhappy. But today, I ran a half marathon. I feel delicious. Life is good. I'm happy to be talking to people here. I'm happy to be sharing stuff because my body is thrilled. We are so much connected with our bodies rather than connected with our identities, with our stories, with our challenges, with our problems. The more you run, the more you take care of yourself, the more you realize that kind of tiny shit doesn't really matter too much. So that's my big advice for mental health. So yeah, and for happy life, morning, Simon. Good morning to you, happy life. It's always good to see you. You came right at the end here. My mouth is super parched, and I think all the endorphins from this half marathon have faded, and I really need to lay down now. Sitting upright is not my best friend. Simon, let's play. Winds up saying, strongly agree. Sedentary and stressed out is just going to make mental health worse. Exercise regularly is important. Yes, we're not built to be sitting around for as long as we sit. Sitting at our desks for 8 hours to work, or even like sitting, like, I love this room. Like I said before, I love the way this feels, and I'd love to be able to just sit here and write for hours. But I also know, like, hey, that's a path I went in university. How do I write as much as I want to write while still making sure that I exhaust my body at the same time? This was a great discussion that I had today. Thank you, everybody, for your contributions and your questions. I'll be, right now it's 3:30 p.m. Lisbon time. I'll be here tomorrow, 8:30 a.m. Lisbon time, to do more journaling, and I'll be happy to talk with you then. So thank you, everyone.